of J, L, and K. Okay, so take a look at your picture. Where does point J land?
Bless you.
Where does point J land?
1/4. 1/4. 1/3.
1,3. Okay, it's 1 to the right and 1, 2, 3 spaces up. Okay, L starts where? 1, -2. And K starts where?
3
-2. Beautiful. Okay, so let's say I want to change this and I want to rotate it 180 degrees counterclockwise. Okay, according to the rules we talked about yesterday, the only thing I have to do to my point is to do what?
Switch them around and make them negative.
Switch them around and change the signs. Positives now become negative. Negatives become positive. Your numbers stay in the same position. So this point becomes -1, -3. They both started positive. They both become negative. This one becomes -1, +2. And this becomes -3, +2. This last one, they give us both of our triangles. They give us our pre-image and our image. We need to figure out how far it was rotated. Okay. So, first off, we have to find our original points for Q, R, and S. Which one of these is my pre-image? The one on the left or the one on the right?
Right. The left. Right.
The left.
Why do you say the left?
Because it's the one that started.
Huh?
It started.
How do you know that?
Because it don't got the little stains at the top.
It doesn't have the little apostrophes. Remember, we talked about prime.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. If it's just a letter, that means it's a pre-image. If it's a letter with the little apostrophe, which in math is called prime, that means a transformation has happened. Okay. So the figure on this top left corner is your original. Where is point Q right now?
-5,
-2. -5. It's going to the left. You've got to watch your points. Okay. Where is point R right now? -2, +5. And S is at -2, +1. Okay. Let's find out where our primes are. Q prime is where? Where is Q prime?
Wait, +5. -2.
+5, -2. It's 5 to the right and down 2. So +5, -2. R prime is at?
-5, +2.
No, +2, -5.
+2, -5.
My fault.
Okay. Be careful. It has to be left and right first, and then up and down second. So where is S prime?
2,
+2, -1. Okay. So take a look at our points. What has happened?
It didn't change. It just
What changed?
the negatives went to the left.
The Y.
The Y's changed to the X. Right?
The Y changed to negative, bro.
Okay. What did the X do?
They swapped.
Changing the positive.
They negatives.
Okay. Answer me this. Did my numbers change places?
No.
No. 5 is still on the left. 2 is still on the right. 2 is still on the left. 5 is still on the right. My numbers didn't change places. So that automatically gets rid of 90 and 270. Okay, that has not happened. Did they stay the same?
Yes.
No, my points aren't exactly the same, so we can't use 360. So this has to be a 180. All that changed is the signs of both of my numbers. All of my negatives became positive. All of my positives became negative. So this is a 180-degree rotation. Does it matter if I say 180 degrees clockwise or counterclockwise?
No.
No. 180 degrees, either counterclockwise or clockwise, goes into the same position. Okay. Questions?
No.
Okay. We need to finish what we did not get done yesterday, so we're going to start with this one.
Which one?
We're going to start here.
Oh, cut that out.
Okay? You need to cut this out. Sorry, I didn't get out the scissors. I'll pass them around. Yay.
People's reactions be so slow. Wouldn't it be so many?
However, do you know Ms. Bostic that does community in school?
I know what
No, I don't have
That's cool. Dang, that's not in my cord.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were putting it right there.
Moses.
Yeah, I know.
You need to start grabbing your stuff when you come in. That notebook's not gonna work. You need one that doesn't have the binding in the middle.
Aren't you a virgin?
Whoa. Get out my face. Ooh, virgin.
What?
Niggas out.
Ariel, your stuff out here.
Yeah. When I had the same shade as this
I'm calling Pinky. Y'all.
what color?
Bro, you actually wet me.
First of all, I'm recording right now. You don't need to be acting a fool in my class.
Boy,
Please
you
just
should
pass
have the
out
water.
scissors and be done. Okay, you are gonna cut this one out. I'll pass around the trash cans.
Hey, I think I'm gonna be stabbed.
I'll still cut that.
What is y'all cutting out? I could just rip it.
Now I'm interested.
Okay, you're gonna cut this one out and it's gonna glue in on page 17. I'm gonna cut this out and it's gonna glue in on page 17.
Ah, that's a good
I mean, yeah.
If you hand us a trash can, just give it to me, because everybody.
Everybody hands it to you and you just end up putting it in there anyway?
No. They just make up the trash. What do you want?
CJ.
This.
I know.
Oh, they rushed that trash can too. And then I got in trouble for just picking up the trash. I think that's worse than what Miss Glove.
It didn't even involve you.
Throw him up for fans.
Well, she didn't get too serious about the trash can. It's just the trash can. It's not like it's no waste. And still.
Okay, so you're gonna glue this in the middle of page 17 towards the top because we do have something else we're gonna glue in towards the bottom.
Where do you see glue? It's too.
My life.
Yeah, get on
My life.
You want to see some?
I am about to
I wanted to
That's
play.
the other
I wanted to
day.
play. So No smoke.
Okay, let's fill in these blanks. Let's fill in these blanks. A rotation is a transformation in which a figure is what? What do we do in a rotation to a figure?
Turn it.
We turn it. So, in which a figure is turned. That first blank is turned.
Yeah, turn.
About a fixed point, and this fixed point is called the center of rotation.
I can't write on this piece of paper.
Called your center of rotation. Rotations can be blank or blank. Which way can we turn?
Either way.
Which directions? What do we call them? Clockwise
Or counterclockwise.
or counterclockwise?
Yeah, I'll get it, yeah. No.
And finally, a rotation is an isometry. We learned that word yesterday. What does the word isometry mean?
Hold on, I got you.
See, y'all wasting on the story.
An isometry is a transformation that preserves length.
Good. It preserves length, which means that your figure is not getting any bigger or smaller. Okay? It's staying the same size, just turning it. So, a rotation is a transformation in which a figure is turned about a fixed point called the center of rotation. Rotations can be clockwise or counterclockwise, and a rotation is an isometry. Okay. Questions? Okay. We're going to now go to this page. Okay. We're going to now go to this page. You can trim around the outside of that page. Okay. You can trim around the outside of that page.
Trim the outside.
Trim the outside of this page.
Yeah.
What are you doing? There is no reason you cannot be doing these pages. Come on. Push the food, push the stuff. You're going to take a 0 for today.
I'm not gonna see it. I was gonna
You got cut these up right here.
We are on a brand new page. There is no reason you can't be right along with us. You're not going to sit there. No, we're not going to cut that. We're going to fold on this line.
Okay.
Cut around the outside.
Right. Look. You don't see how it's like even right here. It comes
Cut that
out
out.
more right here.
Cut that out. Nice and straight.
I didn't know.
Supposed to cut on the dotted.
No. Why? If you lose it, you're missing papers.
So big.
I thought you were supposed to cut on the dotted.
Which number we on 17?
We on page 17.
38.
I wouldn't, I couldn't.
You can do that, or
Ew.
I have a YouTube channel that you watch us literally do page by page, and you can get caught up either way. or
You put up when you get birds when you pick them. It's a funny to see a bird on there. A living bird.
I got you, friend.
Free smoke for that room.
Free smoke.
We'll take it a drink.
Bro, oh my God, bro. You so good.
My son, girl,
Do this.
My bro.
You can't cut on a line.
Right. I got parts right here, right here, right here.
Miss Love, look what I did. I mean,
Because you don't listen to directions, and now you can't fold it, and it can't go in properly because you don't pay attention.
no, I did this yesterday.
Why? We weren't on that page. Did I tell you what to do with that page?
No, I cut them all out yesterday. I cut them down.
For what? We didn't even do that page.
Because he wanted to be ahead.
Stop.
Friend, bring me your pages, your little papers, and let me see if I can fix it.
she handy one.
Bring me your papers. Let me see what I can do here.
I thought she was from
Friend.
Colonel.
All right. So we need this one.
Hold
This
on.
one's the ball.
Hold on.
You've got to stay along with me.
Oh, they said they paying for it.
This one.
Why you got that out of my head?
This mama got an Android with a screen crack. Can't hit me up right away.
You heard that profanity?
Okay.
Right.
Enough. Or I'm calling administration up here, and they can deal with y'all.
I just got back from that.
This is not kindergarten. I didn't realize that I couldn't even give you all scissors.
Like those shots. What was that?
Hello? Hello?
Hey.
Thank you.
Bro, took you slick. Dang. He took my food.
Oh, I thought you.
Man, no.
Thought you were supposed to cut on the dotted line.
Okay, first off, you cut it out yesterday. We didn't even touch this paper yesterday, so you had no instructions on what to do with this page.
You heard that cuss word?
Look at Joseph. Ain't no flat screen.
Slow. I saw a picture of that.
All right, Stephon.
This is pinky right here.
Right, Patrick.
So how you supposed to fold it?
I will show you how to fold it once we fill it all out. All right, guys, we're gonna fill this all out first, and then I'm gonna show you how it gets folded. I did. I got skills sometimes. Okay.
Come here, let me see if I can fix Bro, what my sister?
Help, bro, you could piss me off. Like, for real.
Okay. One thing you need to know. Okay. When they don't tell you what direction to turn, it's always counterclockwise. So I would make a note of that somewhere here. When they don't tell you what direction to turn, it's counterclockwise. Okay. It's always counterclockwise. I don't know why. You would think if they didn't tell you what direction, you would always go clockwise, but it's opposite.
Wait, you always go counterclockwise?
Yeah. When they don't tell you what direction to turn, it's automatically counterclockwise. Okay, so the first thing we want to look at is we're going to take point C, so this point here, and they want us to rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise. If C goes 90 degrees counterclockwise, where does it go to? It goes to A. C goes to A. Go down to the next one. We're now at point F. So I'm here. If I'm going 180 degrees counterclockwise, it goes where B is. Okay, take a look. You're in the bottom part of this square. 90 degrees would take you to D. 180 takes you over to B. Okay. Now we're at this line here. Line E to F. Okay. I'm going 90 degrees counterclockwise. So E to F is going 90 degrees counterclockwise. Where am I going? C to D. Okay. The last one. I'm going FGH. So this triangle down here. And we're going 180 degrees. Good. It's B, C, D.
Do you have to put that line?
Is that a triangle?
That's telling you it's a line.
What page is this?
Did you put a triangle before B? Or is this supposed to be A?
No, that's a triangle. It's telling you triangle BCD. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on these four?
I don't understand it.
You don't understand what?
How the shape. Like that. It's just like that.
The triangle?
This whole thing.
Bro.
You're talking about a shape. The only thing we did a shape on is the last one. So I don't quite understand what you're asking.
Never mind.
Okay, so CJ, if we start down here with this triangle, okay, we're going 180 degrees counterclockwise. So if I would turn my paper, here's 90 degrees, correct? Here's 180. So I'd be at the top, right? Okay, so what triangle is at the top? B, C, D. That's where that came from. Okay, so you're just finding it without actually rotating it.
And I'll
Okay.
get this down first before you start rotating. I love you.
Else.
I'm going to switch to a color so you can see the distinction between the left side and the right side now.
What right side?
Okay,
Okay.
so now we're starting at H. So I'm starting here. I want to go 90 degrees counterclockwise. So CJ, if I'm going 90 degrees counterclockwise, I'm turning my paper this way. Okay, so I need to be right here on my original figure. What point is right here on your original figure?
I want to say D.
D is up here.
Yes. You said
If I turn this 90 degrees counterclockwise, I'm on the bottom right in between this line, correct? Okay, so what value or letter is on the bottom right in between these lines? What is this? F. So your answer here is F. Okay. We're at point K. So we are here. I want to go 180 degrees counterclockwise.
M.
So you should be at M. Okay. Now I'm at the line H to M. H to M. I want to go 90 degrees counterclockwise.
That would be P.
If you need to rotate your paper, rotate your paper.
Yeah.
If I go 90 degrees counterclockwise, I would be this little line on the right-hand side. Okay? So which line is the little line on the right-hand side in the original? Not F to K.
B to M.
Take a look at how your line looks.
B to J. K to L.
Your line goes this way. Okay? So it also, when we flip it back, it needs to go this way.
H to M.
It's just half of it. It's not the whole thing. It's just the right half. No.
It has to be in that square.
It has to be in the square.
So that's gonna be H to L.
No, because that's the entire line. This is not the entire line. It's just this part of it.
What?
So it's what? I swear somebody said it over here.
L to F.
L to F. It's this line. You have to learn rotational symmetry. Okay. So that's L to F. The last one, we're looking at triangle GLH. So GLH, we're looking at this tiny triangle right here. I want to rotate 90 degrees.
GLF.
No.
Yeah, wrong way.
If I rotate 90 degrees, take a look at where it's positioned when I rotate it 90 degrees.
H. L.
Okay. It's this one right here. If I flip it back, it needs to be this one right here.
KDE.
Okay. So
I hate this. I hate that.
EKF. Okay.
So when I rotate it 90 degrees, okay, take a look at where it's positioned. So we've got a, I cannot.
It's just a sideways triangle.
Okay, I need this
Yeah,
through here.
Third. It's Patrick.
Switch my skid.
You cheating.
Okay, so when I turn it the 90 degrees counterclockwise, I need to find this triangle right here on the original. Okay, so flip it back.
Yeah.
What triangle covers that little position there?
Oh,
On the original.
KFE.
KFE.
Was that so hard? KFC.
Does that make sense now?
It's KFC.
Halo.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Did they use that when they taught you how to divide fractions?
No,
Keep flip change?
they just.
That's how I taught it. Okay, so let's say I teach Kentucky Fried Chicken because you guys remember that more than anything. If we talk food, you guys are like, what?
Oh, yeah,
Food?
almost definitely.
Huh?
All right, let's talk
Okay,
food now.
So let's see.
Let's go to Burger.
Let's talk about, we're going to add a new one. Let's say we're talking about this triangle right here. Okay. I want to rotate it 270 degrees. Okay. So that's 90. 180 is upside down. 270 is this way. Okay, so when you flip it 270, my triangle is now here. Go back to the original now. What triangle is in that position in the original figure?
DKE.
DKE. So if you need to draw yourself a picture to figure it out, by all means. I'm okay with that. All right. Let's continue on now. To rotate 90 degrees. Okay, so we switch the X and Y coordinates. Okay.
You gotta switch it.
We switch it, which means your number that was in for X is now for Y. Your number that was in for Y is now for X. Then check the coordinate or quadrant. Sorry, not coordinate. Quadrant. And determine your signs. What is the same thing as a 90 degrees counterclockwise rotation?
180 counterclock.
Mm-mm.
Hold on, let's go back and look at that.
What is the same thing as a 90 degrees counterclockwise rotation?
360.
270
Oh yeah, 270
clockwise. Okay, so 270 clockwise is the same thing as a 90 degree counterclockwise. Okay, please don't forget. Switch my numbers. Don't worry about the signs right now, just switch your numbers. So A is still at 2, 2. Okay, A is at 2, 2. B is now at 1, 4. And C is now at 5, 1. Okay, don't worry about the signs yet. Automatically, anything 90 or 270, take your numbers, flip them. Okay. What quadrant do I start in if I'm at -2, -2?
I need a pencil.
Which quadrant am I in if I'm at -2, -2? Remember, this goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm in quadrant 3. If I'm going 90 degrees counterclockwise, what quadrant do I end up in?
3.
I'm already in 3. 2, I go up here.
That's 1.
That's not 1. This is 1. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This takes me 90 degrees clockwise from here, or counterclockwise from here.
No.
Never.
Okay. Counterclockwise. Unless they tell you it's clockwise, always assume counter. So, okay. How about this? If I start in the bottom left and I'm going 90 degrees counterclockwise, where am I at? Am I at the bottom or the top? I'm up here.
You're that one. Oh no, you are at the bottom still.
I'm still at the bottom, but I'm over here. Okay. Remember, counterclockwise rotates this way. Okay. It rotates this way. So if I start in quadrant 3, I'm now in quadrant 4. My X values in quadrant 4 are? I need you all to pay attention and listen to the questions. If I'm in quadrant 4, my X values are what?
It's positive.
My X values are positive. My Y values are negative. So this needs to be positive, negative. Okay. If I'm at the point 4, -1, I'm where?
It's 4.
I need you two to pick your head up or you're going to stand in the back of the room. Up. Where am I? Up. Where am I? I need you up or you're going to stand in the back. Or I can have administration remove you.
Oh.
Come on.
Go.
Okay. If I'm at +4, -1, where am I at?
Quadrant 4.
Quadrant 4. I'm here. I'm going 90 degrees counterclockwise. So I go to
Can you call somebody to get into?
quadrant 1. 90 degrees counterclockwise goes one space around to the left. So I go from here to here. If I'm in quadrant 1, my signs are what?
Negative.
Positive, positive. So we leave it alone. Okay. C is at 1, -5. So I start where? Quadrant 4. 90 degrees counterclockwise takes me quadrant 1, which is positive, positive. Leave it alone. Okay. All right. We're going to practice after we're done with this. I promise. We will practice, practice, practice. To rotate 180 degrees. This is a new word. Negate.
Negate.
All this means is change the signs. Okay? So every number that is positive will go negative. Every number that is negative will go positive. Okay? So 1, 3 becomes -1, -3. Okay? Every number changes signs when you're doing 180 degrees. So 2, 0, -2, and 0 stays. Okay, remember 0 is neither negative nor positive. 5, 2, -5, -2.
Miss Curry.
Yo.
Okay.
Oh, I thought he was for real.
Right.
This bottom one, to do a 270-degree rotation, okay, we do both a 90-degree as well as a 180-degree. It's the same thing as what we did above, where we switch the signs and then figure out what quadrant we're in. So I had 1, -4. So this becomes 4, 1. I have 5, -1. This becomes 1, 5. Okay. So if I'm at 1, -4, what quadrant am I in?
Second.
Positive X, -Y.
The 4.
So I'm down here. I'm going 270 degrees counterclockwise. So how many times am I moving around to the left?
1, 3.
3. 270 goes 3. So 1, 2, 3.
Oh, negative.
So negative, negative. Okay. Same thing with K. We started here. I'm going 270. So I'm going 3 spaces to the left. 1, 2, 3, which makes this also negative, negative. Okay. The last thing I want you to do is go ahead and plot all these points for all of these.
I need help.
So we're going to do one of them together, and I'm going to let you do the other two. Okay. 2, -2 says
Over 2.
from my middle, I'm going to the right 2 and down 2. This is A. B says from the middle, +1 goes to the right 1, +4 goes up 4. And C from the middle, positive 5 goes to the right by 5. Positive 1 goes up by 1. Here is C. Connect your dots.
It makes a lovely triangle.
On your quiz on Friday now, since we're pushing everything, your quiz will be Friday. You are going to have to plot points once you've rotated or reflected. Okay. Go ahead and do the other two. We'll check your answers. And then I'll show you how to fold this and glue this in. And we've got one more page in your notebook to do today.
Oh, man.
Stefan, turn around and do what I asked, please.
Are you getting the graphs?
You already got them graphed.
I'm just kidding. Negative.
Sheesh.
Oh,
Oh my god, I'm so sore.
ain't the negatives on the right
I
side,
feel that chest, so
the left?
feel it, bro.
It depends on what's negative.
Both of them negative. So it's gonna be.
So, these numbers tell you left or right. Okay, so if they're negative, you're going left. These numbers tell you up or down. Okay, so the first number tells you left or right. The second number tells you up or down. I'll go over in a second.
Can you scoop the paper on?
Why is your first graph not done yet? You need to be paying attention as we go. I cannot keep stopping to go back for stuff that you didn't do because you weren't doing it with us. Okay, if I'm plotting the point -1, -3, which way am I moving?
Down.
-1 first, so left 1, down 3. So here's A prime. B to the left by 2,
Don't you stay on the line?
and you stay on the line.
Yo, I remember.
Okay, C to the left 5 and down 2. Here is C prime.
Can we do this on our own though?
You were supposed to be. You were the one that sat there and waited. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, let me do this one.
Boy, you got the easiest though. Come on.
What?
Stefan, tell me which way I'm moving. From the middle. -4 tells me.
Over 4.
Don't tell me over, because over is this way or that way. Huh? To the left by 4. This tells me
Down.
down 1.
You're so smart, Pooh.
So this is J prime. Okay. This one tells me then, Stefan. Which direction?
Look, so
Left 1. This tells me down 5. So this is K prime,
it makes a line.
and it makes a line. Okay. We need to fold this. So we are going to start at the bottom here. Okay. You're going to take this bottom and you're going to fold it up to the next dotted line.
Hold on.
Okay. You're going to take the bottom and fold it up to the next dotted line available. Okay.
Wait, this one to that one.
No, like this one on the dotted line, fold it to the next available. Okay. All of your folds should be along the dotted line. The next dotted line, you're going to fold it under like an accordion. And you're going to keep repeating that process. So you're going to fold it under, then you're going to fold it over. And then you're going to fold it under one more time.
I think I did.
So when you're finished, and if you would open it back up, it looks like this. Let me back out. It should look like this when you're finished.
Nah, it should look like this.
When you're done with that, you're going to glue it onto the bottom of your page like this.
All that blue.
Like that's like all the way at the bottom.
Just somewhere towards the bottom of the page. It doesn't have to be clear at the bottom. That's all that's going on that page.
And glue it down.
Yep, glue it down.
What if they don't glue it?
Right. So now you can open it up. It's fancy. It's fancy.
Now can I finish my notebook?
No, we've got one more page we got to finish.
Oh my God, we only got 10 minutes left.
Yes. We do not. We have till 40. It's not even quarter after. Okay. The last thing we need to talk about is this page, and we are finished.
Do we have that?
Yes, you should have this one already.
You know what? You know.
Wait, what that paper at?
Oh, it's just because it looks white up there.
No, it's pink. This entire unit will be pink, and then we'll switch colors for the next unit.
The next one will be blue.
You want me to do blue?
No, I was guessing.
I want orange.
I got
You're
blue,
talking too
green,
much.
gold, yellow,
Oh, do that.
purple,
gold.
and salmon.
Gold, purple, gold.
Purple or gold?
We're eventually going to do every color, so don't worry. Okay, rotational symmetry. This is when I can take a figure and map it onto something else. So, for instance, if I have a hand, it's got 5 fingers.
Right.
Can I rotate it to look like this one? Yes, I can just flip it like this. Okay, that's what rotational symmetry means. So, take a look at this first triangle here, this isosceles triangle. Is there a way that I can flip it for it to land on itself? How far do I have to go?
360.
The whole 360 degrees. Well, in order for it to have rotational symmetry, it has to be 180 or less. So this is a no. There is no rotational symmetry because it has to go 360 degrees. Okay. In order for it to be rotationally symmetric, it has to be 180 or less. Okay. Take a look at figure B. Is there a way for me to rotate it so it lands directly on top of itself? How far do I have to go to do that?
90.
If I go 90, I would flip it like this. Does that look like my original?
No, you do 180.
180. So this is yes. It has to go 180 degrees to land on itself. What about C?
Yeah, all the way around.
Does it have to go 360 to look the same?
No.
If I go 90, it looks like
Oh,
this.
yeah.
It's
180.
It's 180. If I flip it this way, it's exactly the same. So this one is also, yes, 180 degrees. Okay? What about number 1 down here?
Oh boy, I do not know. Your boy Boo.
Do you think this is rotationally symmetric?
No, Sharding gone.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, yes, it is.
Okay. Okay. When you have more than what is just 90 or 180 degrees, the way we find it out, okay, it has a total of 360 degrees, correct? Okay. It can land on itself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different times. So we divide this by 6. So this has 60-degree rotational symmetry. Every 60 degrees, as I turn it, it will land on itself. Okay. It has 6 pieces, so we divide by 6.
Question, don't just go on page 18.
Oops.
Give me a second. I will tell you when to do things. Okay. Number 2. Number 2. You say no. This one is going to be a yes. What am I going to divide by this time? 5. I've got 5 points around. So 360 divided by 5. So it has 72 degrees rotational symmetry. Okay. What about number 3?
No.
Yes.
Yes, on the 2. No. Yeah.
If it ends up to be 360, you
If it's not like, when we divide is when it's not like straight up 90 degrees, 180 degrees, because you know how to turn that. You don't know when you've turned 60 degrees or 72 degrees. So to find those ones when there's more than 4 to split it between, you have to divide. Okay. Number 3, what did we say? Yes. How far do we have to go? 180. And what about number 4? Yes. What do we do? Divide it by 5. So this also has 72 degrees.
You don't need to be giving us homework.
Who?
Miss Clown.
Okay, this is not Spanish class. We don't need to be talking about this right now in the middle of my lesson.
I don't want to.
Okay. 45 degrees in each one of these spots. Okay, so each one of these spots is 45 degrees apart. Okay, so this says a clockwise rotation of 45 degrees maps A onto what? So if I start here and I want to go 45 degrees clockwise, where do I land? 45 degrees clockwise.
B.
B. It's just one space over. Each one of these spaces is 45 degrees. So I go from A to B.
C to D.
To C to D.
Okay.
B to... Oh, no.
If I'm starting at C and I want to go 90 degrees clockwise. So I'm starting at C and I'm going 90. So I'm going 1, 2. I'm now at E.
Yeah. You know what? 80 had a P maps.
Okay. Be careful with number 7. They give you the ending point, not the beginning point. So they want to know, you got to go backwards. So they want to know, where should I start if I want to go 180 degrees and land on F? So we have to go backwards. So instead of going clockwise, I'm going counterclockwise. So here's 45, 90, 135, 180. So I would have to start at B to go 180 degrees to land on F. So please be careful when they give you the ending point and not the starting point. Okay, so now we're at H. We're starting at H. We want to go 90 degrees counterclockwise, starting at H. Where do I end up? F. Okay, I want to end at E. Where do I need to start if I'm going counterclockwise 45 degrees? I need to start here if I want to go 45 degrees counterclockwise and land on E. If I start here and I go 45 degrees counterclockwise, I go here. So you would need to start at F to go 45 degrees counterclockwise and land on E. Remember to go backwards when they give you the ending point. Okay. I want a starting letter that tells me if I go 135 degrees counterclockwise, I go on A. So it wants us to go counterclockwise, but to get to the beginning, I have to go the opposite way. So I need to go clockwise.
G.
1, 2, 3. I should be at D.
So 135, you move 3 times.
Right, because this is 45. 45 plus 45 is 90. 90 plus 45 is 135. Okay, add up your degrees in between. Questions? This needs to go in on page 18 in your notebook. This is the last glue in
For today.
for today.
Counterclockwise, not counterclockwise.
Okay, but it wants the starting point. Hold on. Let me stop this.